Welcome, everybody. Happy Friday in February 7th fashion. We're getting ready for a couple slate of games here. Kicking off the morning game with the British Columbia Bombers and the Alberta Grizzly. Joey Miller alongside me, Brendan Januska. And today we kind of have a matchup of, as Jared Lemieux, Alberta Grizzly manager, put it, the battle of the basement. These teams just saw each other on the backfield Wednesday. Bombers' Davis Druick kind of did it all, scoring all of his team's 6 runs, going 3 for 3 with a 3-run home run for their 6-2 win. The Bombers taking that one. They're both tied at 3-8 in the standings right now, just trying to propel themselves a little bit as we head into the last week of the California Winter League regular season here in 2025. This is an adjustment period for both teams also. After finding a little team chemistry in Session 1, the Session 2 guys have been trying their best to quickly integrate with the program, but the learning curve has been sharp for some. Today is a fairly even matchup in that sense, as these teams are trying to find a turning point, like I said, to propel them out of the last place tie in the standings.
Yeah, and it's a 3-way tie right now at that 3-8 record. The Blue Sox, along with the Bombers and Grizzly, all 3-8, and it's a big deal because whoever finishes in those bottom 2 spots have to play an extra game, a play-in game, to try to get into the playoffs once the regular season concludes. So trying to get that extra day of rest, and it's important to win this game right here to get that little bit of a push in the standings.
And for the Alberta Grizzly, they haven't really found their mojo at all this week, really, since their 18-3 loss to the Blue Sox on Monday. Their pitching has really been the problem this week, but the same can be said about the Bombers, which is making this a fairly even matchup, like I said. The Bombers averaging about 7 to 8 hits per game, 5 runs per game. The Bombers' offense has looked relatively good so far. And we'll tell you a little bit more about the pitching matchup. We got Matthew Maldonado, different Maldonado, starting for the Grizzly, and Takushi Minagawa for the Bombers. And we'll also give you the lineups and much more after this brief break for the Anthems here on the California Winter League YouTube channel. Welcome back to historic Palm Springs Stadium. Joey Miller, Brandon Januska getting ready for first pitch just moments away. The Alberta Grizzly taking on the British Columbia Bombers, both sitting at 3-8, bottom of the standings. Another game happening on the backfield right now. We'll update you as things progress. The morning game, the Washington Blue Sox taking on Team China, who got their 10th win of the season yesterday. The only team now with 10 wins, at least for the time being. The Canada A's have been back and forth, kind of cat and mouse at the top of the standings with their only 2 losses of the season. But let's tell you more about this matchup. On the mound today for the Alberta Grizzly is Matthew Maldonado. Maldonado coming into his 4th start of the season, his 5th appearance. His last appearance was a relief one. Jared Lemieux, the manager of the Grizzly, put him in to kind of alleviate damage against the power and hold the line. And that he did, 1 hit and 2/3 innings. But typically he's been a 3 to 4 inning guy who can get you more strikeouts than innings. He's got 18 strikeouts in those 12 1/3 innings that he's pitched. And right now he's tasked with holding the line today against these British Columbia Bombers. We'll take you through the lineup here, kicking it off. Number 35, Mark Hernandez. He'll be at third base, a newcomer. And then Elijah Dickerson in center field. Howie Hatton following in left field. Nolan Macabrota, who had quite the day yesterday at the DH spot in the cleanup role. Bubba Thompson at shortstop, following behind him. Sawyer Stidham behind the plate today. Mandalo Bertino at first base. Si-Yun Kim in right field, and Michael Sims finishing out the lineup there. Up comes Mark Hernandez, and we're just about ready to get underway here. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Hernandez, only 2 for 5 on the season so far, this being, I believe, his 3rd game played. Played yesterday as well against China. And we're just about ready to kick things off here. Maldonado looks down and finds a sign from the stretch and fires a pitch in there and misses outside for ball 1. We are underway at 10:02 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Maldonado pacing himself similarly to the first pitch. And the second pitch, this one finds the zone there. Kind of kicking it off with some off speed. That one coming in at 71 miles per hour. Not too much break to speak of. It's a 1-1 count on Mark Hernandez.
Yeah, Maldonado typically goes with a 3-pitch mix. He's got his fastball, curveball, and a changeup, so 3 different speeds coming in.
Everybody in normal depth. That looked like a breaking ball, and it bends in there for strike 2.
He's really been able to rack up the strikeouts with those 3 pitches as well. 18 of them, as you mentioned, in 12 1/3 innings.
Let's see if he can start the game with one here. He's ahead 1-2. Maldonado takes a deep breath. Now fires the 1-2. There's a swing and a miss on the fastball. Went off speed, fastball, and got him swinging rather. There's out number 1 of the ball game. Brings up Elijah Dickerson, his first plate appearance today. Dickerson's typically been at the top of this lineup ever since Eddie Javier Jr. Headed off to his contract now in Florence. There's strike 1 called.
Dickerson's having a great year. 375 coming in. This is his 10th game with the Bombers.
Yesterday went 1 for 4 with a strikeout against China. And now the 0-1 to Dickerson. This one misses low and inside. It's a 1-1 count.
You mentioned China's playing on the backfield right now. They're off to a good start, up 4-0 already. Last update we got in the 2nd inning.
Something they did yesterday as well, getting up early. China's just a run production machine. As the next pitch misses high for ball 2. Maldonado fastball typically ranging in there around 86 to 88. Here's the 2-1. This one drops in at the knees for strike 2, and now a risk at another strikeout victim, Elijah Dickerson.
Maldonado's done a nice job keeping the hitters guessing so far. Only one swing at a pitch, and that was for the swinging strikeout of Hernandez.
The 2-2 is fouled off into the parking lot on the third base side. We stay at 2-2. Elijah Dickerson against the Grizzly this year, 0 for 2 with a hit by pitch. These guys have faced off against each other, like we mentioned in the pregame show just on Wednesday. The 2-2 again. This one softly hit off the handle of the bat towards the shortstop, Carosis, who fires onto first just in time for out. Oh, sorry. Excuse me. He is safe. He beat that out.
Yeah, just not quite enough on the throw. Kind of floated it over to first base, and Dickerson able to leg out a single.
So there's the first hit of the game, as some new baseballs are exchanged. It'll be Howie Hatton with a one-out opportunity here. And a runner on first. That one only coming off the bat at 66 miles per hour off of Dickerson's bat. Give him plenty of time in this big infield. Now the first pitch to Hatton is in there for strike 1. A nice curveball there at 69.
Dickerson has good speed, but he hasn't tried to steal too often. 1 for 2 on stolen base attempts this year.
He has certainly gotten on a lot. We talked about that. Here's the 0-1. Fastball misses out, and it's a 1-1 count. Some loud action on the backfield. Very communicative, that Team China outfield. We heard them a lot yesterday. Those pop flies, they know who's getting to that baseball. The 1-1 swung on and missed. Howie Hatton not looking thrilled that he put an effort into that swing. Nice fool-me pitch by Maldonado. Runner at first. No score here. We're in the top of the first. Time is called by Howie Hatton. Hatton typically finds himself in an outfield role. He's been in the DH spot a lot. He does not get the half day off today. The next pitch is served to him just below the knees, and it's a 2-2 count.
It's nice placement by Maldonado. Nice attempt to try to get the strikeout there. Going away with the fastball after setting him up with the 70-mile-an-hour off-speed pitch previously.
Had a pretty eventful day yesterday. Went 2 for 3, which is never an easy task off of Team China. There goes Dickerson towards second. The ball misses upstairs, and in there standing is Dickerson with a stolen base, his second of the year. And it's a full count with now a runner in scoring position for Howie Hatton.
Just a great jump right there by Dickerson. Mentioned he hasn't tried to steal too often in the Winter League this year. He's now 2 for 3.
Burgos, the mainstay for the Grizzly behind the plate. This one hit in the air towards right field. Backing up a couple steps is Roberts. Josh Roberts will grab it and throw in. Tagging up, heading second to third is Dickerson. And now a run just 90 feet away and 2 outs for the heavy-hitting Nolan Macabrota, who got himself a big fly yesterday in major fashion. He'll try to do something here, continue that run production. 2 extra base hits against Team China yesterday, including that home run that went over the right field wall.
Yeah, and it was a no-doubter off the bat. Everyone in the stadium, including Macabrota, knew it was getting out of here.
First pitch to him, challenged him with a fastball. He watches it go by for strike one. Macabrota 7 for 25 on the season now, after a 2-hit day yesterday. Here's the 0-1. This one hit on the ground on a one-hopper to Davey Morgan at second base. He'll throw on to first in time, preventing the run from scoring, leaving that one stranded. And we send it to the bottom of the first. We'll see the first of the Alberta Grizzly lineup. We'll tell you more when we come back here on the California Winter League YouTube channel.
Everyone knows good things come in threes, like Dave & Buster's Eat, Drink, and Play combo for just $19.99, including one mouth-watering entree, a refreshing beverage, a $10 power card, and a whole lot of fun, which means you enjoy a delicious meal for under $10. Oh, look, that's 5 good things. Good things come in threes at Dave & Buster's with the Eat, Drink, and Play combo for just $19.99. Buy online or in-store today.
There's something winning in the Agua. Catch all the action at 360 Sports at Agua Caliente Casinos. Watch your favorite teams on our giant wraparound screens. See live scores on the LED sports ticker. Win big with our bar top games and enjoy great twists on bar food favorites. And with 3 premier casino locations, 360 Sports is the ultimate fan experience. For more information, visit aguacalientecasinos.com.
Whenever you find yourself hungry for something real, simple, and true, we're here for you.
That's what a hamburger's all about.
Try our big, beautiful all-day menu with more than 70 delicious dishes and our award-winning 3-course brunch for only $27.99. At Palm Springs' most popular restaurant, there's always a party at Lulu.
Bottom of the first, and on the mound now for the British Columbia Bombers is Takushi Minagawa, coming into his 4th start, his 4th appearance as well. He's faced off against some heavy offenses his past 2 starts, China and Chill, where he went 4+ in both of them, 4 or more in both of them, I should say. Only allowing 3 combined earned runs in both of those appearances, so quite well keeping those offenses at a minimum. His job today is to just keep depressing what has been a standstill offense for the Alberta Grizzly, at least this week. But for the Grizzly, they're going to try and turn things around. Davey Morgan steps in, the second baseman today. 4 for 20 on the season. He swings and misses at a fastball there for strike one. I think it is safe to say that Takushi Minagawa has kind of become the ace role for the British Columbia Bombers. There's another strike called there, and now Davey Morgan has to stay protective.
Yeah, Minagawa's done a nice job of limiting contact. The walks have hurt him a little bit at times, but against the Chill, his last start 5 days ago, he allowed just 1 hit against them.
There's a breaking ball that misses low for ball 1. Like you said, those walks. 12 on the season, 12 strikeouts as well. So today's the day to kind of shift that number around if he can.
Yeah, and just 6 hits allowed in his 10 1/3 innings.
The 1-2 misses outside on a fastball. It's a 2-2 count. Following Davey Morgan in the lineup will be Andrew Gravdahl, Scott Shaw, Braden Dolbatian, Matthew Maldonado, today's pitcher and DH. A.J. Carosis after him, Anthony Burgos, Thomas Petrosino, and finishing off with the switch hitter, Josh Roberts. There's a swing and a miss. And a nice breaking ball that absolutely fools Davey Morgan. And there's strikeout number 13 on the season for Minagawa.
Both starting pitchers today coming right out the gate with a strikeout.
Always good to get your leadoff man out. And here comes Andrew Gravdahl, another one of the Session 2 guys. There's strike one on Gravdahl called. Has yet to get a hit in the California Winter League season. He went 0 for 3 against the Bombers on Wednesday, but he did get a couple stolen bases. Found his way aboard. The next pitch misses in the dirt inside for ball one.
Yeah, he's a threat with his legs anytime he can get on or if he can hit something on the ground. Make it a close play at first.
Good amount of space up the middle. The right side of the infield shifted towards right for the left-handed hitter who pops it up in the air in front of the mound. Minagawa seems to have it in his sights and grabs it for out number 2. Chance at a clean inning. Now here comes Scott Shaw, who's kind of sat in this 3 spot here all season. Picked up by the Gateway Grizzlies. The Grizzly and Grizzlies difference, but has been a trend. Last year, they had a guy on the Alberta Grizzly who went to the Gateway Grizzlies named Tate Wargo. Jared Lemieux has coached both of them and sent them to Steve Brook in the Frontier League. He takes strike one. Shaw, a tall outfielder, typically playing center left field. He's playing left field today. He hits this one out to left field to Howie Hatton, who grabs it for out number 3. A 1-2-3 inning for Takushi Minagawa, and a scoreless first. We'll head it to the second here on the California Winter League.
Across the Coachella Valley, you'll find our communities powered by short-term rentals. These rentals bring visitors and dollars to the region. Whether attending events, checking out the art scene, or dining at restaurants, when they spend money, we all score. The nearly $1 billion impact of short-term vacation rentals generates tax revenues that fund police, firefighters, education, and many other programs that improve our daily lives. To learn why short-term rentals are a grand slam for the home team, visit onecv.org.
Family setting, you know, we come and we get into conversation, and it's comfortable here is what I guess I'll say. It's comfortable.
The hot cocoa has whipped cream and sprinkles in the whipped cream in the hot cocoa.
Very family oriented. You know, they cater to the kids. They got the coloring books and crayons, and they have kid-sized stuff about almost for everything that you would want. So young and old, everybody can enjoy it.
It's the best.
Made from scratch memories. Elmer's.
How do you define adventure? Riding the world's largest rotating tram car? Taking in SoCal's awe-inspiring views? Exploring over 50 miles of pristine wilderness? Enjoying casual or fine dining at 8,500 feet? Discovering our history? Experiencing our scenic trails? Getting that perfect souvenir? Whatever your adventure, you'll find it at the Palm Springs Aerial Tramway. Adventure at its peak. Begin your adventure at pstramway.com.
7 total batters in the first inning. 3 on the account of Takushi Minagawa, who gets a clean inning. Matthew Maldonado back on the mound. He gave up a hit, an infield hit, that in the top of the first. Came around to third, didn't score. We're scoreless here. The Alberta Grizzly and the British Columbia Bombers trying to pull off a win here. Their second time facing in the past 48 hours. Or 72, I should say. This morning slated game. Bubba Thompson leads things off for the Bombers in the second. The shortstop and the former Palm Springs Power of the Summer League here at Palm Springs Stadium. Yesterday went 0 for 2 against Team China. One of the handful of guys in this league with a home run on the season. That was on the backfield. He's trying to get one in this stadium. There's strike one called. He's gotten a few in this stadium over the summer, but obviously a different level of talent now. So these are professional free agents trying to get signed.
Yeah, and he's really heated up with the bat lately. Started off a little slow.
He lifts this one in the air, and it's just going to get over the wall into the bleachers for a nice souvenir and a strike 2 on the shortstop in yellow.
You mentioned he was 0 for 2 against China yesterday, but he had 7 hits over his previous 4 games prior to yesterday's outing.
So he's behind 0-2 on Maldonado. Here's the pitch, and it misses outside. Kind of pulled an off-speed there that sunk a little bit too far. It's 1-2 now on Thompson. No score to speak of yet, and only one hit in this ball game. Another deep breath by Maldonado, and the 1-2. This one cuts well inside. Look out. Ball 2, and a nice little good morning for Bubba Thompson. The even 2-2 is off the end of the bat into right field. That'll fall for a base hit. A leadoff single on a 2-2 count for Bubba Thompson. He's aboard. And now Sawyer Stidham will have a chance to keep the ball rolling.
It's a nice piece of hitting right there by Bubba Thompson, taking the ball the other way. You mentioned he has one home run on the backfield. He did the same thing, taking that ball the other way over the hedges on the turf field. So doing a nice job of using the entire outfield.
Also a speedster on the base paths, Thompson is. He's got 3 on the year so far, stolen bases, that is. First pitch to Stidham, misses high, gets Burgos to pop up. And it's ball 1 on the catcher. Sawyer Stidham, 3 for 21 on the season. He went 0 for 3 against these Grizzly just a couple days ago. Next pitch misses outside, and it's quickly 2-0. If you're Maldonado, you want to get an out here. Nobody out, and no score to speak of here in the top of the second. The lefty Stidham looks on. Now the 2-0. Breaking ball. Perfect right over the plate for strike 1. When he can get those curve balls to work in his favor, you can really locate him. We've seen some moments of brilliance of Maldonado on the mound. There goes Thompson towards second. The pitch is swung on and missed. The throw down to second is not in time. It's a 2-2 count and now a runner in scoring position for the Bombers for the second time today.
Yeah, Maldonado, he's all about control and varying speeds. You mentioned he can be great with that curveball, putting it in the zone. He can also use it to get the chase as well if he decides to leave it out.
I think he very effectively uses that deep breath that he gets into himself before he fires a pitch. Just like he does there, but he misses outside on a fastball. Burgos had to pop up and make sure that didn't get by him. Now the count runs full.
That's usually how it goes, right? We talk about how a guy's great with control, and then one slips out of the hand.
The old broadcaster jinx. Burgos finds his way back behind the plate, telling his battery mate to take another breath and fire this pitch with care as it's a full count on Sawyer Stidham. The pitch to him is swung on and missed. A nice win there for Maldonado, his second strikeout of the day. That was foul tipped into the glove, actually. And the first out of the second inning is recorded. Up comes the unique switch hitting Mandala Bertino, and although he is a switch hitter, he's batting from the right side today against a righty. He's got the runner in scoring position. Bertino takes strike 1. Mandala Bertino, 1 for 12 on the season. 3 strikeouts and a walk. He has had a pitching appearance. He holds the bat on his shoulder and awaits the 0-1 that misses outside for ball 1. He's kind of one of those guys that the Bombers can rally around. If he does well, then everybody does well. The 1-1 misses well outside.
A big thing for Bertino is he just puts the ball in play. He struck out 3 times in his 12 at-bats. So more often than not, he's making contact, putting the bat on the ball.
Those strikeouts can be momentum killers. He's trying to spark some life into the Bombers, who have a runner at second. This one hit into right field. That'll get down. And coming around to score is Thompson from second to home. He's in there safely. Mandala Bertino with his first RBI of the CWL season. And the Bombers take a 1-0 lead in the second.
That's what it's all about, just bat to ball. Put the ball in play. It wasn't hit very hard, but he found the right spot on the right side of the infield, poked it into right field, and an RBI for Bertino.
It's kind of a late send there by Aaron Miles at third base, but turned out to be effective. Here's Si-Yun Kim to see if they can continue with now a 1-0 lead. The Bombers over the Grizzly as the first pitch misses outside and low for ball one. Kim, the right fielder today. We've seen him in the infield and the outfield. 0 for 2 against the Grizzly on Wednesday. A strikeout and a walk. He takes the next pitch high, and it's a 2-0 count. Mandala Bertino stands at first with a conservative lead. Kim, his only hit of the season, came in day 2 against the Blue Sox back on the 24th of January. He's 1 for 16 on the season. Trying to turn his luck here. Next pitch misses outside. It's a 3-0 count. He's got the green light. Good chance to get another runner in scoring position. Michael Sims on deck, the 9 spot for the Bombers. The 3-0 pitch hits in the zone, stepping away from the batter's box mid-pitch was Kim.
Yeah, even if he had the green light to swing on that situation, the breaking ball coming in, it was just a nice pitch.
3-1, swung on and missed. Nice buried sinker action there. From a 3-0 now to a 3-2. Si-Yun Kim now protecting the righty. The pitch misses outside, ball 4. There are 2 runners aboard for the Bombers. The first free base of the day comes at the hands of Maldonado. And right now, if you're Maldonado, you need to nip this in the bud immediately. Keep the line at 1. Michael Sims steps up. Didn't have an official plate at-bat yesterday against China, but he did have a walk, so a plate appearance recorded. First pitch breaking ball does not break, misses high for ball 1. And for Michael Sims, he's 1 for 15 on the season, his only hit as well in day 2 against the Blue Sox. Day 2 seems like forever ago, January 24th, near the beginning of this CWL season. The next pitch misses outside. It's ball 2, and now there will be a meeting on the mound. Jared Lemieux comes out of the dugout. Burgos was the first one to Matthew Maldonado. Nobody in the bullpen right now. Maldonado is a trusted guy of Lemieux.
Yeah, and this is just a big spot. It's the bottom of the order that's doing the damage. You have the hit from the 7 spot in Bertino and then a walk to the 8 hitter, and now you're behind 2-0 on the 9 hitter as well. You hate to lose these guys at the bottom of the order.
Especially with the top of the order due up next. Mark Hernandez is in the on-deck circle. You don't want things to roll out of proportion here. 1-0 is the score as it stands right now. Bombers in charge after a Mandala Bertino RBI single to right field. Bertino, who stands at second base with runners at first and second. It's a 2-0 count. Michael Sims accepting 2 balls in this count. Maldonado now, after the talking to, will try and control his pitches and find the zone. The 2-0. Misses outside. It's a 3-0 count. Back-to-back batters with a 3-0 count. He worked his way back to a full count with Si-Yun Kim, but he lost that battle. The 3-0. Misses inside, and the bases are loaded with one out for Mark Hernandez. Back-to-back walks for Maldonado. And a fantastic spot to be in if you're one of these men in yellow.
Yeah, a couple of close misses there for Maldonado, those last two pitches. So he's starting to get it closer to the zone, but not enough. And now you really have to battle. Just one out. You're hoping for a ground ball.
Mark Hernandez struck out swinging in the top of the first, one of the 2 strikeouts that Maldonado has recorded today. The first pitch to the righty is a big swing and a miss there. Challenged him with that same fastball that got him swinging for strike 3 after first 3-pitch off speed was given to him. The 0-1, another swing and a miss, this time coming up and in on him. And now at risk at another K.
Yeah, and it looks like these first 2 pitches, Maldonado just thinks that he can blow the fastball by Hernandez.
It seemed to be the case so far. Those past couple pitches coming in at around 87, 88 miles per hour as Hernandez has struggled to catch up. He calls for time just to ease the tension. Ducks on the pond for the Bombers, who have the 1-0 lead. They'd like some insurance here with one out. Maldonado fires the 0-2. A swing and a miss. High. Gets him fooled on 3 straight pitches. And now, with 2 outs, this sends up Elijah Dickerson, the last chance to cash in on some more runs in this fantastic opportunity for the British Columbia Bombers.
Yeah, not out of the woods yet, but that's a huge strikeout for Maldonado. And again, just relying on the fastball and blowing it by Hernandez.
The 3rd strikeout of the day for Maldonado and the 2nd one of this inning. The first pitch bends high on a breaking ball for ball 1. Again, just losing the counts early here for Maldonado. He's facing Elijah Dickerson, who got the first hit of the ball game back in the first on an infield single to the shortstop. This one popped up in foul territory. Might get out of play, and it does. So now it's a 1-1 count. Burgos heads back to grab his mask. Burgos, another one of those workhorses behind the dish. Really hasn't had much of an option as he's the only listed catcher for the Grizzly. Thomas Petrosino can catch. We might see him at some point today, depending on how things go. Still bases loaded and 2 outs now. The 1-1. This one hit in the air towards left field. Ranging back is Shaw, and he'll make the grab on the run near the warning track. 3 stranded for the Bombers, but the Mandala Bertino RBI single gets the lead for the Bombers heading into the bottom of the 2nd. 1-0 your score here on the CWL YouTube channel.
Outdoor living in the Coachella Valley is spectacular, and Tessera is the premier builder of outdoor living spaces in the desert. Nobody does it better than Tessera. From one end of this valley to the other, from Palm Springs to Rancho Mirage, Palm Desert, to Indio and La Quinta. For 35 years, we've created the ultimate in outdoor living, landscaping, pools, and patios, so you and your family can enjoy each other. Live well. Live Tessera.
Whether you're building, landscaping, renovating, refreshing, or simply researching, rent the right size tools for your size jobs. In store, online, or in-app at Sunbelt Rentals, where tools rule.
We're back here in the bottom of the 2nd. The Bombers have taken a 1-0 lead over the Alberta Grizzly. Joey Miller, Brandon Januska What we just saw is Mandala Bertino getting his first RBI of the season, scoring Bubba Thompson from second to home on just a nice little line drive single into right field. Not too hard hit, but it got the job done. And now for the Alberta Grizzly, they need to respond here. They need to alleviate the shutdown inning.
Yeah, and for Bertino, I mean, it's just a matter of if you continue to put the ball in play, eventually it starts to find holes, and he managed to find one there, poking it into right field for the RBI. And for the Grizzly, yeah, they've seen this happen all too often where they fall behind early and just can't catch up. So they need to find a way to answer back as soon as possible.
Well, it's still close as it stands right now. A whole lot of baseball to play in this 1-0 lead for the Bombers. Braden Dolbashian, one of the heavier hitters in this Alberta Grizzly lineup, steps up. Misses inside. Minagawa does for ball one. A 10-pitch inning for Minagawa. And plenty of rest in the bottom, or rather the top half of that second inning where all that action happened. Next pitch misses low for ball two. And what was really the detriment for Matthew Maldonado in that inning, in which he faced 7 batters, almost went all the way through the lineup, was not getting ahead of counts. And Minagawa sees himself in a similar situation, leading off the bottom of the second. He misses low. And it's a 3-0 count.
Yeah, both of these teams have had trouble with walks throughout the season. There's a reason why they're sitting toward the bottom of the standings so far, and the walks are a big reason for that.
Braden Dolbashian, 11 for 29. He can get on base. Next pitch misses low. It's a 4-pitch walk. That kicks things off for the Grizzly, their first base runner of the day. Now aboard, and Matthew Maldonado will try to alleviate or get back what he gave up.
Yeah, that's one of the nice things about having your pitcher hit for himself. He has a chance to just help himself out and get back what he gave up.
Maldonado takes the first pitch high for ball one. That's 5 straight balls to start the second, bottom of the second for Takushi Minagawa. Minagawa delivers and misses low. The streak continues for Maldonado. 5 for 16 at the plate, 4 RBIs. Last game he played with a bat in his hand was Tuesday against the Power. He went 1 for 4 and an RBI. There's a strike that breaks the streak. Just around the knees there and inside. It's a 2-1 count on Maldonado, the pitcher slash DH.
Sometimes you just need to see that first one go across in the inning, be called for a strike, and then you recalibrate the zone.
There's another strike. It seems to be the trend here. Again, hitting around the knees there on that fastball. Minagawa just trying to locate spots, and he's doing all right in his past couple pitches against Maldonado. The 2-2. There's a swing and a miss. Gets him on 3 straight pitches after falling behind 2-0. The second strikeout of the day for Minagawa. And the first out of the bottom of the second here. The runner still on first for A.J. Carosis.
Nice bounce back for Minagawa. Falling behind 2-0 after you walked a guy on 4 pitches to bounce all the way back and get the strikeout.
Carosis takes the first pitch for strike 1.
Now he looks to be locked back in.
5 for 18 coming into this plate appearance on the season. Couple RBIs. 8 walks as well. He'll stay patient as he does on that pitch. A breaking ball that misses high and outside. Didn't have enough tightness to that one. We've seen Minagawa's curveball just absolutely dominate sometimes. The 1-1. This one misses low on a fastball. It's 2-1. Dolbashian, the runner at first, being held on by Mandala Bertino, who's responsible for the 1-0 lead the Bombers have over the Grizzly. Next pitch is hit. A nice hot shot into the glove of Hernandez at third. The play back at first is not in time, but still a great job preventing that ball from getting into left field. Hernandez gets the second out.
Yeah, it was a low line drive. He had to go down to his knee to make the grab over there at third base. Nicely done.
That's why they call it the hot corner. Here comes Anthony Burgos, the catcher, who's 6 for 24 on the season, doing quite well. Another one of those bolstered part of the middle to late part of Jared Lemieux's Alberta Grizzly lineup consistently throughout the season. He takes a big hack for strike one. Just misses on a fastball low and outside. 2 straight outs and a runner at first for Takushi Minagawa. This one fouled back into the screen for strike 2. Now 1 strike away from getting the shutdown inning. Minagawa grabs some dirt to get a better grip, shakes off a sign, looks back at Dolbatian at first, and now comes Set. The 0-2, the runner going, he swings and misses for strike 3. His 3rd strikeout of the day, gets out of damage, leaving 1 runner on, and it's a 1-0 contest still after 2. The Bombers have it so far here on the California Winter League YouTube channel.
For 20 years, our family's mission has been simple. It all starts at Stuffed, where exceptional service meets bold flavors. Every crust, a masterpiece. Cocktails crafted to perfection, and an atmosphere that brings family and friends together. Stuffed pizza, dine-in or takeout. Savor and enjoy at our 2 locations. Quality, service, family legacy, it all starts at Stuffed.
Jessup Auto Plaza has been proudly serving the Coachella Valley since 1938 as your trusted family-owned auto destination. Now, electrify your drive with the Valley's most extensive range of electric vehicles. Drive the Chevrolet Blazer, Equinox, Silverado, the powerful GMC Hummer, Sierra, and the distinctive Cadillac Lyric. Silent power, bold performance. Electrify your drive. Jessup Auto Plaza. Since 1938, the EV brands you love, the family you trust.
Green Day being played at the stadium, and for the Bombers lineup, they've been seeing a lot of green, especially out of the hands of Matthew Maldonado. They got the 1-0 lead after Maldonado faced 7 base runners in the prior frame. We're in the top of the 3rd. The Bombers trying to collect some more runs now and bolster their 1-0 lead over these Alberta Grizzly. And right now, after a great shutdown inning from Takushi Minagawa, who allowed the first runner on a 4-pitch walk, got 2 strikeouts, 3 straight outs. This is the response here.
Yeah, and it's important to note that the quick inning by Minagawa, so you're sending a pitcher who struggled a little bit last inning right back out, didn't get a whole lot of rest in between. So we'll see how he responds on the mound, Maldonado.
He'll face Howie Hatton to kick things off in the 3rd. The second out of the first inning, he flew out to right field. Howie Hatton looks on with his red bat. It's the first pitch. Misses high for ball 1. We talked a little bit last inning about how missing the zone early in counts can be dangerous. These Bombers can really stay patient while looking for their pitch. The 1-0. This one also misses high, but a bit closer to the letters. It's a 2-0 count.
Yeah, and some credit to Matthew Maldonado as well in that second inning. Even though the control wasn't there, a couple of walks, a couple of singles given up, he only allowed the one run. You're right there in it if you're the Grizzly.
The 2-0 finally hits for strike one. A similar fastball there. Maldonado working lower. Some action being had on the backfield that we're hearing in our microphones. There's another strike called. Howie Hatton has yet to take the bat off of his shoulders as it's a 2-2 count.
Yeah, that was a good curveball. We saw similarly used in the first inning, especially where that just bends right into the zone.
Couple of curveball pitchers that we're seeing today. Minagawa hasn't used it that often today. Fastball misses outside, trying to get him to chase on that one, and now it's a 3-2 count on Howie Hatton. Top of the third, nobody on. Waiting in the works right now is Nolan Macabrota on deck. Maldonado takes a breath and now fires the 3-2. This one fouled back into the bleachers. It'll stay full. This is a dangerous part of the lineup to get through right now, and I think if Matthew Maldonado can get through it, that can maybe pick things up for the Grizzly. The third inning has not been their friend earlier this week as this one's hit into right field. That'll get through. Just outside of the reach of Davey Morgan at second base, and another leadoff single, back-to-back leadoff singles by the Bombers. Brings up Nolan Macabrota, who launched an absolute nuke into right field yesterday. Macabrota standing quite tall at the plate from the left side. He was the third out in the first inning. He grounded out to the second baseman, Morgan. He takes strike one. Another great chance here with nobody out. Outfielders drawn a little back. Ooh, and the pitch is not well thrown. I think he caught himself there on his way off the mound there. It misses inside for ball one.
Yeah, may have just slipped a little bit off the mound. That was a really awkward play. He had to continue with the pitch at the risk of a balk, allowing the runner at first to go an extra 90 feet. Just a nice job of maintaining enough control to get it to your catcher and not allow that ball to the backstop.
A pitch is kind of a wind-up. It has some flow to it, and the flow was interrupted at some point in his delivery towards the plate. The next pitch is fouled back to the screen. It's a 1-2 count, but I can understand that, you know, when you feel something in your body not going right on your way to the plate, it can be kind of an awkward delivery. He's lucky that that didn't hit Macabrota, as those type of pitches often do. The 1-2 misses in the dirt. Inside for ball two. Howie Hatton staying at first base, being held on by Dolbatian, the lone base runner of the game for the Alberta Grizzly. Maldonado trying to avoid another long inning. He fires and misses just low. And it's another full count, back-to-back full counts to kick things off here in the top of the third. 1-0 Bombers over the Grizzly. Maldonado will first fire over to first. Howie Hatton slides in. Gets up without a tag applied on him.
Maldonado's really had to work in this ball game. 61 pitches already. Nobody out in the top of the third.
A soft breeze tailing inwards from left field. This one hit into right center field, heading towards the gap. Howie Hatton is going to be held at third as the relay is made in. Another single for the Bombers, back-to-back to lead things off here in the third. And now runners at first and third for another great opportunity. I feel like a broken record at this point. Bubba Thompson, who got one of those hits today, one of the now 5 hits off of Maldonado, as Macabrota is actually being exchanged for Doriel Beck. A pinch runner put in early. We'll see how that suits things here in a potential big inning. Doriel Beck, also a prolific hitter. Should be a straight switch since it's at the DH spot. First pitch misses outside. Ball 1 to Bubba Thompson.
Yeah, and when you're a struggling team and you have opportunities like this, you really want to take advantage. So put a little bit more speed on first base. Try to put up a crooked number after only getting one last inning. I'm sure the Bombers feel like they could have put up more.
There goes Doriel Beck towards second as this one's hit in the air towards center field. Should be playable for Gravdahl. And now tagging and scoring is Howie Hatton. It's a 2-0 ball game on the sac fly. And 1 out here in the top of the third for the Bombers.
Bubba Thompson comes up and he just does his job. Puts the ball in play, hits it in the air to bring that run home.
Give Bubba Thompson an RBI on that one. Here comes Jared Lemieux quickly out towards the mound. His third baseman, Petrosino, is also being called in. This might be an entire infield meeting. Middle infielders still relatively confused on what to do. They'll have a chat with themselves as there's a pause in the action. Sawyer Stidham is chatting with the umpire at home plate. So he'll have a chance here with 1 out. And a runner at first.
Yeah, it gives you a chance to talk about what to do with the hitter and also with the runner. Could potentially, we saw Beck, he came in as a pinch runner. A lot of times when that happens, they want to come in and steal a base. So maybe attempt a pitch out or something and try to catch Beck on the base paths.
Well, it looks like the initial idea was a hit and run that resulted in a sac fly. It's a good plan B there if you're Aaron Miles. Sawyer Stidham, one of the 3 strikeout victims of Maldonado today. After the pause, the first pitch misses high and outside. It's ball 1 on Sawyer Stidham, who ran his way into a full count before becoming the first out of that big second inning. 31 pitches issued by Maldonado in just that frame alone. I think at this point he's well over 50. Curveball misses high, does not break. It's 2-0 on Sawyer Stidham, the lefty.
And I do think they anticipate Beck trying to take off. Burgos has been popping out of his stance on both of those pitches, kind of like a pitch out, getting ready to throw down to second.
Staying eager and aware. 1 out here. There's a swing and a miss, a foul tip into the glove. And it's a 2-1 count. Sawyer Stidham, another fellow catcher who has not had to be too aware of anybody on the base paths today. The Grizzly only getting 1 on in the 2 frames that they have sent their offense to face Minagawa, who's done an excellent job today. He's getting a nice big break again. He's staying warm, actually, on the line as the next pitch misses for ball 3. And now a perfect hitter's count with Doriel Beck at first. Pinch running for Macabrota. Bluffing towards second, and now the next pitch fouled back. That'll find its way just beyond the bleachers. And it's full on Sawyer Stidham once more.
I know there's only 1 out in the inning, but I anticipate to see Beck take off on this pitch.
Typically the case on a full count. More often on 2 outs, but with 1 out, he quickly fires and tries to catch him sleeping, but Close play says no go. The first base umpire.
That was a nice pickoff move. Made it close. Tried to catch him leaning towards second.
Back in action here. It's 2-0 Bombers. In the top of the third, another pickoff move there. Again, not getting back, not phased, is back. His uniform will get a little bit of dirt on it. That's his second disengagement in just the past few seconds. Now the payoff pitch, a breaking ball swung on top of and missed. The runner did go, and Beck is in there safely with a stolen base. A strike him out, not throw him out. And that's the fourth strikeout of the day for Maldonado, his second on Sawyer Stidham, and his second out here in the top of the third. Here comes Mandala Bertino, who batted from the right side in his first at-bat, now batting from the left side on the same pitcher. He got the RBI single back in the second. He swings and misses at an off-speed there for strike one. I guess he is trying to get his second RBI, but thought batting right-handed was a bit too much of a challenge the first time, so he's trying it from the other side now. The throw back to second is not made because nobody was covering as Maldonado steps off the mound there.
Davey Morgan had started right around behind second base, but he had already started to move back toward his traditional second base spot before Maldonado turned.
The 0-1 misses high, and a back pick attempt was eaten by Burgos. Again, nobody covering the bag. Middle infielders in relatively normal depth, trying to prevent the ball from getting past him. It's a 1-1 count. 2 outs here, and a runner in scoring position for the Bombers, who lead 2-0. Pitch misses outside. Now it's a 2-1 count on Mandala Bertino.
I'm actually surprised. They must expect Bertino to go the other way with the ball. Typically, with a left-handed hitter, you'd have the shortstop go and cover second base with the runner on, but it's been Davey Morgan, the second baseman, who's run over.
There's a 2-1 swung on and missed on the fastball, blew it by him. It's a 2-2 count on Bertino, and it's also surprising because typically somebody who's training themselves to bat from the left side is not as strong on the left side as he is on the right side. So he's going to try and poke something the other way and take something outside as the next pitch misses outside on a breaking ball. It's a 3-2 count. Not really strong from the pole side, but we've said that he gets contact, and that's really all you can ask of a player. Put it into play and see what happens. He swings and misses there. It's strike 3. Leaves the runner back stranded at second, but another run coming across for the Bombers, who lead 2-0 heading into the bottom of the third on the CWL YouTube channel. Bottom of the third, back-to-back innings of run support for the Bombers, and their starter, Takushi Minagawa, has been quite appreciative of that. 76 pitches for Matthew Maldonado in the first 3 innings, as the past 2 have resulted in at least 1, giving them that 2-0 lead. The Grizzly will now try their hand here against Minagawa again. Thomas Petrosino, for the first time today, takes strike 1 off of Minagawa.
Yeah, another inning with a lot of pitches thrown for Maldonado, which means Minagawa has to come back out after another long break.
Next pitch loops in there, a beautiful breaking ball for strike 2 on the third baseman, Petrosino.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like the break bothered Minagawa as much this time.
Typically you want that rest between innings. The next pitch missing outside for ball 1. Working fast is Minagawa. And for Petrosino, he's got 3 hits on the season and 19 at-bats. Went 0 for 3 against the Bombers on Wednesday and a couple strikeouts. The 1-2 fouled back, and Petrosino stays alive. Nobody on for the Alberta Grizzly and nobody out. Grizzly just trying to put base runners on. They've only had 1 base runner all game on a leadoff walk last inning. Next pitch misses outside. Petrosino held up on a swing there. It's 2-2 now.
Yeah, hits are typically hard to come by against Minagawa. We talked about it in the pregame show. Minagawa does a nice job of limiting contact.
Bit of a shift applied towards the right field side as the pitch misses low. It's a full count. The first full count that Minagawa has issued all day. Good amount of shade out there in the outfield, but a lot of sun for the infield. It's a semi-cloudy day. The next pitch misses low. It's ball 4. Another leadoff walk issued by Minagawa. That'll bring up Josh Roberts. We'll see if they can do anything with this leadoff walk, as they did not in the prior frame. Minagawa followed it up with a couple strikeouts and a line out to the third baseman, Hernandez. Josh Roberts, traditionally a middle infielder, takes the first pitch outside for ball 1. Today he's in right field.
Momentum's a big thing in sports, and you would think the momentum's in the Bombers' favor with a 2-0 lead, but you look back at how these innings have gone, the way they've made Maldonado have to work out there on the mound. They probably think they should have more than just 2 runs in this ball game, so a chance for the Grizzly to really come back and shift the momentum in their favor if they can score.
Kim in right field is drawn in as the bunt is applied down the third base line, goes foul. Tried to surprise him there, and it's a 1-1 count instead on Josh Roberts, who throughout the season I've kind of referred to as a mini Lindor, at least in terms of looks. He's got the same hair, he's got the same face, he's got the same style. And when I first met him, when he mentioned that he was a middle infielder, it just kind of solidified the case for me. As he swings and misses at a fastball there, it's a 1-2 count on the switch-hitting right fielder today. Roberts, 2 for 15 on the season, but where he really achieves a lot of his success is when he can get on base with a walk. He's got 7 of those this season. And he swings and misses. He won't get on base this time. The 4th strikeout of the day for Minagawa. All swinging, and the first out recorded brings back the top of the lineup, Davey Morgan, who was one of those strikeout victims back in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, and so far, nothing going offensively for the Grizzly. They haven't put a ball outside of the infield yet in this ball game.
Fresh count on Morgan, misses inside. Gets him to lean back and fall off the plate there. It's a 1-0 count on Davey Morgan, the newest addition to the Lake Erie Crushers. Signed his contract with his current manager, Jared Lemieux. He'll just carry on over into Avon, Ohio, into the Frontier League season. Next pitch, an off-speed, hits for strike 1.
And actually, they put one into the outfield. Scott Shaw flew out to left. Everything else has remained on the infield. Most of them, as you mentioned, strikeouts.
Now the 1-1 to Morgan. Misses high and outside. It's a 2-1 count. That was a good pitch, though, on an 87-mile-per-hour heater. 2-0 in favor of the Bombers over the Grizzly. The bottom of the third, one out and one guy on. That leadoff walk by Petrosino. Oh, there goes the bat on a swing and a miss there. In the on-deck circle, just narrowly avoiding that was Andrew Gravdahl. And a pat on the shoulder there as Davey Morgan almost just decapitated his center fielder.
Yeah, Gravdahl had to react quickly to that bat. Coming in quick.
Cat-like reflexes there. He needed them. Kind of a welcome to the league moment there. Gravdahl in just a couple days now into this league. Next pitch misses high, and it's a full count on Davey Morgan. Petrosino hasn't really shown any interest in trying to attempt to take second base, but he might here on a full count, being held on by Bertino. The full count, there goes Petrosino, a swing and a miss. The throw down to second is off. It pulls Michael Sims off the base. And with the stolen base for the first time all game, the Grizzly have a runner in scoring position, but back-to-back strikeouts for Minagawa bring up Andrew Gravdahl, whose adrenaline is running high right now, I assume. He popped out just in front of the mound to the pitcher for the second out in the first inning. Has a great chance here. Now 5 strikeouts on the day for Minagawa.
And you want to control that adrenaline when you're a hitter. Hitters typically want to be relaxed. You want the adrenaline on the mound if you're a pitcher.
Minagawa misses high for ball 1. Gravdahl just got under it a little bit. On the pitch that got him out his first at-bat. The 1-0. Misses, staying in front of the plate. It pops out of Stidham's glove. It's a 2-0 count now on Gravdahl. Minagawa looks back at Petrosino at second. Now the 2-0. This one on the ground to the right side. Gets past the dive of Michael Sims. Coming around to score is Thomas Petrosino. The throw to the plate is in time. A great throw by Si-Yun Kim. And that ends the inning, prevents the run from scoring. Another shutdown inning for Takeshi Minagawa. We're through 3 here. The Bombers still lead 2-0 here on the California Winter League YouTube channel. Top of the fourth, the Bombers lead the Grizzly 2-0. A fantastic put out there by Si-Young Kim in right field. Ends the inning and keeps the line for Minagawa. Another shutdown, and Si-Young Kim, speak of the devil, he's here leading off the top of the fourth. And a special guest in the booth with me today is none other than Canada A's star arm, Alejandro Izquierdo. Alejandro, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm feeling great.
Awesome. Is your first time on a broadcast?
Yeah, it's my very first. I mean, high school I used to do a couple of broadcasts, but in a major one like this is actually my first time, so I'm pretty hyped. Nervous, but hyped.
Well, don't be nervous. This is kind of low stakes. We're just on YouTube in front of a couple hundred people. Si-Young Kim steps up. Takes the first pitch for strike one. He got a walk, came around to second, and was left stranded back in the second. Maldonado now at 77 pitches into his fourth inning of work. Ooh, misses high and inside on a what looked to be a curveball there, would you say?
Yeah, pretty much left it like arm dragging, but.
So what would you say is your strongest pitch then, if we're talking about pitches here?
I would say pretty much slider.
Slider?
I got like 7, 8 pitches that I can work with, but my strongest that I absolutely love to throw, slider. Like, I can go anywhere in the count, just throw a slider, and then after that, it's just splitter. I'm not a huge fastball guy.
Yeah, we've noticed it's something that you've used a lot in high-pressure situations, as now it's a 2-2 count on Si-Young Kim. He swings and misses, and then the ball kicks away for the next pitch. You come into these high-pressure situations, you're typically used in a closer reliever role for the A's, but you're traditionally a starter, I believe. Is that correct?
That's correct. Growing up, I've been starting. I've been put in closing situations before, like in championship games and tournaments. So I love high situation moments. It's like one of those things where when the nervousness and the adrenaline kicks in, you perform better. You feel better. You want that moment. You want to be the dude that like everyone's like, okay, he can shut this down. Like when the pressure gets too high, he can calm himself down, slow the game down, and shut the door.
And you really do a good job at that as the next pitch misses low for ball 3. It's a 3-2 count on Si-Young Kim. I remember a game not too long ago. You came in the 7th inning. It was bases loaded, and you found a way out of it somehow. What was going through your mind there?
Just throw strikes. I mean, let them hit it. That's the main mentality. When I go up there at any time, just let them hit it.
There's a strikeout there for Si-Young Kim.
Yeah, just let them hit it. If they get a hit, it's on like good for them. They beat me, but I play my best game when I throw strikes, when I compete, and when I get ahead in the counts. You know, that's when I can toy with the hitters. Just throw what I feel like throwing, and then throw what I feel is best for that situation and for the certain hitter.
Yeah, and you've kind of been a staple for the Canada A's as well. A 9-2 Canada A's. How does it feel to be on such a great winning team right now on a roll?
It's just amazing. I mean, our team is amazing. We have an amazing pitching staff. I mean, our offense just picks us up. Even like the days we don't have like 100% our pitching staff, offense picks us up. Past 2 games, pitching staff hasn't really been there. We've, thrown strikes, just a couple of mishaps between the pitchers, but offensively, they pick us up. We're like chemistry-wise, we're all sound. We're all good buddies. We all hang out after the game as well. Yeah. So we're not only just here during the game and then we just ooh.
Michael Sims almost gets drilled with a fastball. He takes off his helmet. It's a 2-1 count on Sims with 1 out here in the top of the 4th.
But yeah, so I mean we're all just like great chemistry. We all play like as a team. Because as we're all here, obviously, to be seen and get contracts and stuff, but the way we've been taught in this team, at least for the past, like, week and a half, 2 weeks, is that, when you play better as a team, everyone starts contributing to the things, and they start playing better. And then it's the best feeling in the world when you're 9-2, and the only team in your way is, Team China, which it's also a very great team. And
you've just been cat and mouse with them at the top of the division. They're playing on the backfield right now. A half swing. They check down to first. Sims does not go around, and he gets a walk on one out here. Brings back the top of the lineup. And, yeah, like you said, I think we see the chemistry here from the booth. We see that dominant offense, Ruda, Warren, just some of the bigger names in this league that have really stood out early, honestly, in this league. And to have such a great pitching staff, including yourself, to throw around it has been wonderful to watch. Paul Nochi has been really excellent. What are some pointers that Paul Nochi has given you out here that's really improved your game?
Just have fun. I mean, he's told everyone just have fun, play baseball. Just play as a team, pick each other up. Everyone's going to make mistakes. It's just the game of baseball. The game of baseball is a sport of a failure sport.
Mm-hmm.
So just pick each other up. When someone's not doing so well, we pick them up. We don't backtalk them or, just start hating on him because he's hating. No, he's doing bad. We just, we pick him up. We be like, okay, hey, we got you, because we know when we need you, you got us.
Yeah.
And for example, our outfielder Tyler Fogue, he was going through a bit of a rough patch in the past few games, but we didn't turn our back on him. We told him, hey, we got you. We'll pick you up. And then when we needed him, he picked us up against the Blue Sox in the last inning with that walk-off hit. So it's basically that's the philosophy Paul's been teaching us in practice, before games, after games. Just have faith in each other, have faith in what you do. Don't get, too anxious of the moment. Just do what you practice to do, And we all get our, we get extra work in. We never sit out a day where we're just no practice and we're like, okay, we're just going to chill and not do anything. Everyone's trying to get better. Like yesterday we had we didn't technically have practice. It was optional, but yet 90% of the team pulled up and we all just hit. They did team yoga with the pitching staff, and then infielders took ground balls.
Got to stay limber. This one in foul territory. It gets out of play. It's now a full count on Mark Hernandez, trying to avoid his third strikeout of the day. One out here. 2-0 game. Bombers over the Grizzly. Runner at first. But, yeah, I think that we've talked about the cohesiveness of the Canada A's. Now I want to talk about kind of what you've been getting out of this league, how you've seen yourself improve, not only from that team chemistry, but what have you seen that you've kind of gained a new sense of confidence in maybe out here in Palm Springs?
Just overall, the heat of the pressure. I mean, and plus, this is technically professional baseball we are playing. These are professional athletes. Every dude here has talent, and they are very good.
This is popped in the air towards Petrosino at 30. Grabs it out of play in foul territory. Out number 2 recorded. And the runner still at first in Michael Sims brings up Elijah Dickerson.
Yeah. But, I mean, basically it's just international dudes. I'm actually learning even more Japanese now. It's great for me.
You're part Japanese, aren't you?
Yeah. My cousin's born and raised in Kyoto, Japan. So I've been to Japan hundreds of times, more than normal people would go. And so that's one thing, just the international competition you have, the Koreans, the Japanese, Taiwanese, the Chinese, Team China. It's waking up in the morning and knowing, especially you get to play baseball, not having to worry about anything but baseball. It's one of the greatest feelings in the earth. And I kind of miss that feeling since since high school, when I finished high school very early and I just only had to focus on baseball. And it's a great experience. Everyone, the fans, the players, the coaches, the umps, they're all the weather's actually it's actually amazing. Being from Miami and LA, you got a mixture of humidity and heat, and then here it's just clear skies. It's a bit dry, but I mean, that's.
You're in a desert.
Yeah, it's baseball weather, you know.
It's a 1-2 and hit into center field. Joshua Hoffman has some hang time on that one. Grovdal grabs it for out number 3, and that retires the side there. One left stranded, but only 4 batters faced for Maldonado. His second time today that he's only faced 4. Still 2-0. The Bombers will look to continue to hold the line here as we head to the bottom of the 4th. We'll hear a little bit more from Alejandro Izquierdo in the bottom before we send him on his way. You're listening to the California Winter League on YouTube.
Hello, Power Baseball fans. At SBMP Attorneys, we believe in the power of community. And that's why we proudly support the Palm Springs Power, our hometown baseball team. After a memorable championship season in 2024, capping off the team's 20th anniversary, we're all very excited about the 2025 Power team. SBMP Attorneys and the Palm Springs Power are 2 teams that are committed to excellence, community, and the spirit of winning. We'll see you all at the ballpark.
Think of the highest quality you can imagine. Now, think higher.
Bottom of the 4th, the Bombers, for the first time in 2 frames, get nothing across, but they're still in charge here, 2-0 over the Alberta Grizzly. In the booth with me is Alejandro Izquierdo. We've been talking a little bit about the success of the Canada A's, set to face off later today against the Power. And I believe you'll be throwing in that game, won't you?
Correct, yeah. I'll be starting.
It'll be your first start of the season.
Yeah.
Excited to see how you do. You know, obviously you've been dominant from the pen, and want to see what kind of longevity we can get out of you. You talked about how you're traditionally a starter. There's strike 1 on Scott Shaw, who leads things off here in the 4th. Flew out to left field his last time up. But what's the game plan today against the Power? They have one of the better offenses in the league. You know, how do you go up against an Asaf Loengard or a Francisco Polito or a Kazuya Ohira? Do you get scouting reports on these guys, or do you just kind of approach them the same way you would with any other batter?
I mean, you could approach them just with any other batter, but obviously the game dictates like what you're supposed to do. So I do my own scouting on certain players. I have faced Power before, so I do know how to face them. Main thing is just, which is universal for every team, get ahead in the count and just, you know, compete. That's, if they beat you, it is what it is. But, I mean, I've had a pretty good success just getting ahead in the count and competing. I mean, they haven't really been able to beat me. And then, I mean, just a lot of sliders and splitters, basically.
That's the Alejandro Izquierdo treatment, it seems.
Yeah, just everyone gets a slider and everyone gets a splitter. You get 1 fastball every at bat, maybe 2, depending on how you are. But
there's strike 3 called on Scott Shaw. He doesn't like that call, but he gets it nonetheless. There's out number 1 by Minagawa, who keeps mowing down this lineup. Only 2 base runners of the game so far for the Grizzly. They have really got nothing going here so far. The Grizzly and the Bombers at the bottom of the standings. The Power are just 1 game away from getting to an even 500. Obviously, that's well out of the rear view for your team, the Canada A's, as the first pitch is popped up and fouled by Braden Dolbatian. When you went into that game a couple days ago, or rather the team went into the game against Team China, knowing the stakes of that game, what was the mentality of, okay, this is the cream of the crop. This is, you know, first place versus first place. This one popped in the air towards Si-Young Kim in right field, and it's caught for out number 2. What was that like in that big game there?
I mean, it was probably one of the best games I've ever participated in. It was like such a close game, and adrenaline was kicking by warm-ups. You know, everyone was feeling it in warm-ups. It all built up, you know, before the end of the season, before we played them, because you know we had lost the Power and then they lost the Blue Sox, so we were tied for first, and then like both teams just started going on like crazy win streaks and just winning against everyone, and then you know we only played them twice in this tournament, so the first time it was actually pretty. You know, Paul was telling us like, hey, you know, I know we're here to be seen, but you know, this Team China, like, you know, one of the one of the best teams in this tournament. They're here to win, you know, so they don't really care about, you know, being seen or anything. They're here to win this tournament. They're here to be ready for qualifiers. And they're a really great team, really great pitching staff. I mean, I believe they're like a pitching staff that actually like that it's like our kryptonite, you know? We didn't do much against them. You know, a couple mistakes that they did gave us the chance to take a lead and everything. But it was just an overall great game, and then to the anticipation coming into it, you know, we had an off day the day before. It was just great. It was we were just looking forward to it, but we were going to play as a team. We were going to play hard, you know, clean baseball, sound baseball, play as a team, use that team chemistry that we've had, use it into Team China, and then luckily it worked for us, and we came out with the victory.
Well, I hope you use that into today's game. Later today, we will see our friend Alejandro Izquierdo face off against the Power. Thank you so much for joining me on the broadcast, Alejandro.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Best of luck today, and we'll catch you around later, all right?
All right.
2-0. It was a strikeout by Maldonado, 1-2-3 for Minagawa. We send it to the 5th inning here. 2-0 Bombers over the Grizzly on the California Winter League YouTube channel.
Shopping for car insurance is confusing. Holy cow.
Great. Now we have a cow in our kitchen. Why did you say that?
Because I don't know what coverage to choose.
So just say the State Farm jingle. A State Farm agent can go over all your options with you and help choose coverage that meets your needs. Dude, cow, could you move?
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Good things come in threes, like our Eat, Drink, and Play combo for just $19.99. Maybe the saying should be good things come in 1999s. Maybe not. The Dave & Buster's Eat, Drink, and Play combo for just $19.99.
Back in action here. It's the top of the 5th and a new pitcher for the Alberta Grizzly. It's Jason Leone. That wraps up Matthew Maldonado's day, at least on the mound. He went 4 innings, gave up 5 hits, 2 runs, both earned, 3 walks and 6 strikeouts. A nice line, but still a dangerous line as he's responsible for a potential loss here. Howie Hatton for the Bombers steps up here. Hatton, it's his 3rd time up at the plate today and the first time facing a new pitcher with a 2-0 lead for the Bombers over the Grizzly. He fouls this one off towards the on-deck circle. It's a 1-1 count on Hatton, who's 1 for 2 on the day. He came around to score back in the 3rd inning. We had Alejandro Izquierdo in here for the 4th inning, and into the 5th, we welcome back our good friend Brendan Januska. How's it going, Brandon?
It's going well.
Next pitch misses high and in. It's a 2-1 count now on Hatton, the left fielder.
And nice conversation there with Izquierdo. Got to hear it on the other side of the booth.
And apparently so did his mom. So shout out Miss Alejandra Izquierdo's mom. There's a 2-1 strike called. It's a 2-2 now. Takushi Minagawa has worked 4 very nice innings, including a nice 1-2-3 there in the prior half frame. The next pitch misses outside for ball 3, and now the count goes full again. 3 straight at-bats for Howie Hatton, where the count has gone full. Leone fires one in there. This one fouled off into Sunrise Park. The count will stay the same. Nobody out, a fresh inning. Only 1 hit on the day for the Grizzly, 5 in contrast for these Bombers, who have so far had the Grizzlies' number. This one, a Baltimore chop up the middle. Gloved above the head of Carosis. He will not be able to make a throw down to first. There's an infield single and the second hit of the day for Howie Hatton.
Yeah, softly hit, but it took that high hop, as you called it, the Baltimore chop. And by the time it came back down, no play to be made.
Here comes Doriel Beck for his first plate appearance. Nolan Macabrota got himself a single back in the third and was quickly replaced with a pinch runner who now finds his way into this at-bat. He fouls this one towards the parking lot by the library here on the third base side for strike 1. Doriel Beck, his first plate appearance out of the KBO is where this man comes from. And has been just a prolific leadoff guy. He'll be in the 4 spot now, replacing Macabrota. 9 for 22 heading into this at-bat. This one's lifted in the air towards center field. Shallow having to come in a few steps is Gravdal. He'll make the grab for out number 1. 1 out now, and the runner at first in Hatton brings up Bubba Thompson. Got himself an RBI back in the third on a sacrifice to center field, which scored Howie Hatton, who stands at first. He also got himself a single back in the second, came around to score the first run of the ball game. Is now trying to make an impact here in the 5th inning. There's one chopped on the ground. He kind of reached out in front of it and pulled it the other way. It's strike 1 on Bubba Thompson.
Yeah, nice day so far for Thompson. You mentioned the single and sacrifice fly. A bat that's really heated up just when the Bombers need it down the stretch.
Thompson takes his stance back in there. Leone looks on and fires. There's a swing and a miss. Challenged him with the fastball there and could not catch up to it. It's an 0-2 count.
Yeah, a little bit late on the swing getting started.
Leone kind of one of those interchangeable position player / pitcher. It'll be interesting to see if he'll bat for Maldonado as he gets a swing and a miss from Thompson. A strikeout here for out number 2. And a chance to leave that leadoff single stranded. Leone will face Sawyer Stidham, who has gotten himself a couple strikeouts today, both on a full count against today's starter Matthew Maldonado. The righty Stidham looks on and takes the first pitch low for ball 1.
Stidham happier than anyone else, I'm sure, to see a new pitcher in the game, a couple of strikeouts on the day.
Also appears to be a bullpen arm for the Bombers, number 18, Ryuya Kato, as the breaking ball from Leone bends in below the knees for ball 2. Nice sunny day here in this morning game, the 3rd Friday of the California Winter League season. Next pitch misses low and in again, this time on a fastball. It's a 3-0 count. Runner at first, 2 outs, a 2-0 ball game in favor of these Bombers, who have a chance to just keeps snowballing on top of the Grizzly right now. A throw over to first. It fools Hatton. Now he's caught in a pickle down to second. Is in time. A throw to Dolbatian and his counterpart Carosis at shortstop. Gets the pickoff and ends the inning, leaving nobody stranded, but the score still remains in favor of the Bombers, 2-0 over the Grizzly, as we head to the bottom of the fifth here on the California Winter League YouTube channel.
How do you define adventure? Riding the world's largest rotating tram car? Taking in SoCal's awe-inspiring views? Exploring over 50 miles of pristine wilderness? Enjoying casual or fine dining at 8,500 feet? Discovering our history? Experiencing our scenic trails? Getting that perfect souvenir? Whatever your adventure, you'll find it at the Palm Springs Aerial Tramway. Adventure at its peak. Begin your adventure at pstramway.com.
Family setting, you know, we get into conversation, and it's comfortable here is what I guess I'll say. It's comfortable.
The hot cocoa has whipped cream and sprinkles in the whipped cream in the hot cocoa.
Very family oriented. You know, they cater to the kids. They got the coloring books and crayons, and they have kid-sized stuff about almost for everything that you would want. So young and old, everybody can enjoy it.
It's the best.
Made from scratch memories. Elmer's.
We send it to the bottom of the fifth. The Bombers on top 2-0 over these Alberta Grizzly, who have yet to get the bats going. And at long last, for them at least, they will not have to face today's dominant starter, Takushi Minagawa, who goes 4 innings, only allows 1 hit, no runs across on their account, 2 walks and 7 strikeouts, has absolutely oppressed this lineup. And A.J. Carosis will be the first to face off of Ryuya Kato, who comes in relief here in the fifth. Coming into his 6th appearance, all from the pen. 5 strikeouts in 8 innings. And his last appearance against the Power was a quick one. He only got 1 out. But he also gave up 3 runs in that appearance, so he's trying to bounce back from that one. He's working off of a 1-2-3 in the prior frame from Minagawa. And now he will face the lefty Carosis. With the first pitch on the ground towards Sims at second. He has a mistake as he tries to pick it up and throw onto first. That's going to be an E4. And that kicks things off here with the first error of the game. It's been a relatively clean defensive game. I should also introduce a new guest to my left here. Welcome. You want to introduce yourself here?
Yeah, it's covering for an inning or two here for a minute up at the booth. Justin Reschke, General Manager of the California Winter League. Always fun to get up here and jump on a broadcast, so thanks for allowing me to do so, Joey.
Of course. We have seen now 3 different people aside from me. Or sorry, 2 different people aside from Brenda Januska. Alejandro Izquierdo was up here earlier. A swing and a miss by Anthony Burgos for strike 1. He struck out back in the 2nd in his first plate appearance. So, Justin, how long have you been with the California Winter League?
Been with the CWL for 12 years now.
Okay.
Really enjoy it. Obviously, every year we have extremely talented players from all over the world coming through and playing right here in Palm Springs, and it's really probably one of the only places in the country where you can do something like this in January and February.
And the weather's just lovely. We talked about that with Izquierdo as this one plunks Burgos in the helmet on an 0-2 count. He appears to be fine. That one coming in at 68. Luckily, it wasn't anything faster. And now we got runners at first and second on the E4, and the hit by pitch by Ryuya Kato, the new pitcher. Just interrupting your introduction here, Justin. Apologies.
No worries. Yeah, not what you want to see from Kato coming in after such a dominant start from Taguchi Minagawa.
You want to limit the damage here, but now the tying run is at first for the Grizzly. Brings up Petrosino. You've seen a lot of talent come through here in the past 12 years. It's got to be rewarding in a sense to see a lot of these guys make it at the next level and further, as the first pitch misses low for ball one to Petrosino.
It absolutely is. We had 5 former CWL players play Major League Baseball last year. We have former players at every single level of the affiliated minor leagues and scattered across the independent leagues as well. So it's nice to be a part of each player's journey, regardless of kind of where they are at in their careers.
Yeah, as the next pitch misses behind the helmet of Petrosino, it's 2-1. Have you had a chance to get to know any of those guys who have made it to the bigs? Do you know any of them off the top of your head?
Yeah, we had probably the one that we know best just as an organization here is Luke Barker. He's actually since retired because of Tommy John surgery and some other injuries, but he was here. D2 guy out of Chico State, pitched for us in the summer for the Power, came back, pitched in the Winter League the following winter, and got signed to play in the Frontier League, and moved from the Frontier League up to the Brewer system, and then eventually made his Major League debut with them. So
there's a swing and a miss from Petrosino, by the way, for out number 1.
Pretty cool story to see a guy, that's exactly the type of player that we want to help, is those guys that are, diamonds in the rough, so to speak. Maybe went to a smaller school, didn't get scouted all that much, but still obviously have that talent.
This is really a great second chance opportunity for a lot of guys who felt like they were overlooked and want to give it another go. And with this partnership with the Frontier League that this league has had since 2015, myself only working 2 years in the Frontier League, I can say in those 2 years I've seen a lot of great talent come through as Josh Roberts shows bunt, pulls back for ball 1. A lot of great names out of the league last year. One that comes to mind, Gavin Stupinski, the Sussex County Miners. He did quite well with those Miners in the East Division. Next pitch hits on a curveball outside corner. It's a 1-1 count on Roberts, who struck out swinging back in the third. Runners at first and second. A 2-0 ball game. The Grizzly have their best opportunity of the day as the next pitch misses outside. Kato is working fast on the bottom of this Grizzly lineup.
Seems to have found some command here with the left-handed hitter in the box.
The switch hitter, he hits this one into right field. That falls. Coming around is Corosis, and that'll score the first run of the ball game for the Grizzly. The ball gets away. Kato is backing it up behind third. Runners at first and second on a double there by Josh Roberts. And now just one run away, that one who stands at third in Burgos. The Grizzly can make things interesting here.
You like to see that from Roberts, laying off tough pitches away and finally getting one inside that he can turn on for an RBI right there.
The time is called. Aaron Miles will have a chat with Ryuya Kato. The Bombers, the trend of the game has been their starter just absolutely dominating and holding things down, while their offense got a couple in the game in the second and third off of the Grizzly starter Matthew Maldonado. But right now, after the E4 comes around to score an unearned run, the whole infield is drawn in to try and work on a game plan here. It'll be runners at second and third and one out. Only force out is at first. They'll leave Ryuya on the mound for Davey Morgan.
I always enjoy this part of the season when it's a week before the playoffs start. These managers really kind of start managing their rosters to win. And I think that Aaron Miles, with somebody already up in the bullpen down there, might have been thinking about making a change, but decided to stick with Kato here and not burn another pitcher.
Looks to be Chaz Graham in the pen. A very distinctive delivery. You can tell from here as the next pitch hits Davey Morgan in the shoulder. Looked to be a curveball that didn't curve enough, and now we got bases loaded and one out. Here comes Aaron Miles to the plate, or to the mound rather, and with this second mound visit, I'd assume that's all for Cotto. We'll see here as Graham is heading towards the mound. That'll do it for Cotto, and it'll be an interesting scenario. 2-1, the Grizzly have bases loaded, down by one here with one out in the bottom of the fifth. We'll get back to this crucial moment here in just a moment after these messages.
How do you define adventure? Riding the world's largest rotating tram car? Taking in SoCal's awe-inspiring views? Exploring over 50 miles of pristine wilderness? Enjoying casual or fine dining at 8,500 feet? Discovering our history? Experiencing our scenic trails? Getting that perfect souvenir? Whatever your adventure, you'll find it at the Palm Springs Aerial Tramway. Adventure at its peak. Begin your adventure at pstramway.com.
Family setting, we get into conversation, and it's comfortable here is what I guess I'll say. It's comfortable.
The hot cocoa has whipped cream and sprinkles in the whipped cream in the hot cocoa.
Very family oriented. They cater to the kids. They got the coloring books and crayons, and they have kid-sized stuff about almost for everything that you would want. So young and old, everybody can enjoy it.
It's the best.
Made from scratch memories. Elmer's.
New pitcher on the mound for the Bombers. Out of necessity, Ryuya Kato gives way to Chaz Graham, who came in to pitch an inning yesterday against Team China. Through one inning, gave up an earned run, 2 hits, but otherwise faced 5 batters and got out of it, aside from the 1 run that came across on their 8-4 loss to Team China, who's currently playing on the backfield. But let's take you into this moment right now and tell you how we got here. Bases loaded, the Grizzly, the tying run at third, the go-ahead run at second. It was an error on the second baseman, Michael Sims, that led things off. A.J. Carosis, the guy who hit into that error, has since come around to score on an RBI double by Josh Roberts. Burgos, who walked, is now at third. And now Davey Morgan, who got plunked by the first pitch, is on first. The Grizzly, who have been lollygagging through most of this game, have found a sense of late life, and they'll try and find some more here against this submarine pitcher in Chaz Graham, who I've compared to the early 2000s star of the Moneyball era A's, Chad Bradford, in terms of what I can relate to his delivery to the mound. He's a local guy, College of the Palm Desert. Did I get that right?
College of the Desert.
College of the Desert.
In Palm Desert.
In Palm Desert.
So, check all the boxes.
It seems like all the places around here are named Palm something or Desert something.
Pretty much, yeah, or Springs.
Or Springs,
Of course,
yes.
Desert Hot Springs, you get 2 of the 3 in there.
But nevertheless, a big scenario here for Andrew Gravdahl. This could be a welcome to the CWO moment for him as he fouls this one towards the Bombers dugout on the first base side for strike 1. 1 for 2 on the day so far. Got himself a single into right center in the third. He was the lone hit of the day off of Minagawa as he fouls it again to the right side out of play. It's an 0-2 count, 1 out here. And what Chaz Graham could really use right now is a ground ball. Bubba Thompson and Michael Sims are drawn a little bit in, not necessarily in double play depth. There's a big swing and a miss on the off speed that fooled him with some good late movement. And there's a big strikeout from Chaz Graham On a 1-2-3 to Gravdahl. Out number 2, here comes Scott Shaw, the tall lefty. The last hope for the Grizzly in this fantastic situation.
Exactly what the Bombers need right there, a big strikeout from Chaz Graham.
First pitch to Shaw on the ground towards the first baseman, Bertino. Picks it up at his chest and steps on the bag himself. A huge play for Bertino. Ends the inning, leaves 3 stranded, but the Grizzly break the shutout. It's a 2-1 ball game. Bombers still in charge after 5. We'll see how the Bombers respond. Into the 6th we go here on the California Winter League YouTube channel.
Whether you're building, landscaping, renovating, refreshing, or simply researching, rent the right size tools for your size jobs. In store, online, or in-app at Sunbelt Rentals, where tools rule.
Everyone knows good things come in threes, like our eat, drink, and play combo for just $19.99. Maybe the saying should be good things come in 1999s. Maybe not. The Dave & Buster's Eat, Drink, and Play combo for just $19.99.
For 20 years, our family's mission has been simple. It all starts at Stuffed, where exceptional service meets bold flavors. Every crust, a masterpiece. Cocktails crafted to perfection in an atmosphere that brings family and friends together. Stuffed pizza, dine-in or takeout. Savor and enjoy at our 2 locations. Quality, service, family legacy, it all starts at Stuffed.
We're into the 6th. The Grizzly having a fantastic opportunity to take the lead, but they fall short as Chaz Graham comes in and saves the day, holds the line. It's 2-1 as the Grizzlies scored their first run unearned on an error that led off the bottom of the 5th. Came around to score on an RBI double by Josh Roberts. Back to some bats here for the Bombers, kicking it off with Sawyer Stidham, who found his way into a 3-0 count. And he will step back in here after the inning-ending pickoff by Leone, who is still on the mound. First pitch hit to the right side. Dolbatian will grab it himself. Run to the bag for out number 1. And after all those words, back in the booth is Brandon Januska, who's been kicked around this press box like a cue ball in a dive bar. But welcome back, nevertheless. Mandala Bertino steps up for his 3rd at-bat. Now from the right side, he swings and misses at a fastball from Leone for strike 1.
Nice job by Bertino in the top half of the inning, or rather in the bottom of the 5th, making a play after he bobbled it at first and get out of a bases-loaded jam.
There's strike 2 called as Bertino steps out of the box and calls for time. Bertino with an RBI single back in the 2nd, and then a strikeout in the 3rd. That ended the 3rd. There's strike 3 called. Bertino doesn't like it. He'll hang his head as he heads back to the dugout for out number 2. Si-Young Kim steps up now. He made a fantastic play in right field. Kim takes strike 1. A strikeout victim himself his last time up. He's 0 for 1 with a walk. Got in a scoring position back in the 3rd, rather the 2nd. Takes the next pitch. Misses for ball 1. 2-1 Bombers. In this low-scoring affair, he swings and misses just out of his reach there. It's a 1-2 count now with 2 outs, so a strike away from getting out of this frame and facing the minimum. Jason Leone kicks back and fires the 1-2. Misses just at the letters to some groans by the Bombers.
Leon's done a great job so far of just throwing strikes, pounding the zone, and he's been really efficient.
Here's the 2-2. This one hit in the air, heading back, and it's going to fall just in front of us, or on top of us, I should say. It'll be a 2-2 count again. This one hits. A nice fastball by Leon freezes Kim. Back-to-back backwards Ks, a 1-2-3 inning, and it holds the line at 2-1. A beautiful inning of work by Leon. We send it to the bottom of the 6th. 2-1 Bombers. It'll be Chaz Graham back on the mound when we come back here on the California Winter League YouTube channel.
Quality first. It's quite a philosophy to live by. But world-class ingredients are the foundation of great meals. And we wouldn't have it any other way. At Kaiser Grill in downtown Palm Springs, we believe you deserve the best. So whether it's dinner for two or a celebration with 200 friends, quality is our promise to you. Because quality is king. Quality is Kaiser.
Welcome back. Bottom of the 6th. The Grizzly finally starting to find their offensive rhythm. Late into this contest, they still trail 2-1 to the Bombers. But this late into the contest, let's see if they can make a statement here against Chaz Graham, who misses low for ball 1 to Braden Dolbatian. 0 for 1 on the day. This one hit into left field, a nice single. We'll kick things off here. Perhaps a sign of stuff to come. They've gotten the leadoff man aboard in one way or another for the past 2 innings now, past 2 frames. That last time on an E4 that came around to score. Now it's Jason Leone. Came in to relieve Maldonado. He'll take over the DH spot. He hits this one on the ground towards short, onto second and onto first. It gets by Bertino. And I believe it will be, no, not a dead ball, but a nice backup there by the catcher, Sawyer Stidham. So the lead runner gets out, but the runner gets on with an E4.
Now, fielder's choice, since they did record that out at second base, so no error assigned. Leone stays at first.
You're correct. I think the scoreboard is wrong in that one. Now A.J. Carosis takes strike 1. The aforementioned Carosis led things off with that E4. The only error of the day so far. And a pickoff move gets the runner in a pickle. Chaz Graham cannot get to him in time. And evading that pickle is Leone.
Yeah, just a nice job of getting back after he was caught in the middle of it. Play went 1, 3, 4, and then the throw back to 1. Back to the pitcher, and Graham just unable to get the tag down in time.
So lucky break there with 1 out now. Pitch misses outside for ball one. It's a 1-1 count on Carosis. 0 for 1 on the day. He lined out to the third baseman, Hernandez, back in the second. Next pitch misses, same spot outside. It's a 2-1 count. Chaz Graham only needed 4 pitches to get the last 2 outs of the 5th. And now this one fouled down the left field line. Convening and not being able to get to it were the left fielder, shortstop, and third baseman, Hernandez, Thompson, and Hatton. Luckily no collision there, but still a strike, and it's a 2-2 count now on Carosis.
Yeah, it's always tough when you have everyone running at full speed to try to get to that ball in foul grounds.
Ryuya Kato was taken out of the ball game after only recording an out. He allowed an unearned run and a hit. Throw over to first, not in time. Jason Leone being held close at first. Bertino holding him on. The 2-2 to Carosis misses outside. The count goes full again. A lot of full counts in this game. Pitch count being run up. We'll get you some totals later. 3-2 swung on and missed. Carosis goes down swinging, chasing something outside on a little floater there. That looked like a fastball coming in, a very deceptive pitch, and probably Chaz Graham's best. Graham's second strikeout of the day, and the second out brings up Anthony Burgos, who got plunked in the helmet on an 0-2 count from Ryuya Kato. Came around to third, didn't score in the last inning. He takes strike one. Burgos 0 for 1 with a strikeout back in the second. That ended things. Runner going now. Pitch misses low and outside. Ball gets away from Sims, and it heads into center field. But nice backup work there by Dickerson, who prevents the stolen base from turning into an error. Now a runner in scoring position, but more importantly, the tying run for the Grizzly. 2 outs here for Burgos. Pretty big gap between Sims and Bertino, second baseman and first baseman. As the next pitch is fouled back into the screen, it'll be a 2-strike count on Burgos with 1 ball.
A lot of missed opportunities so far for the Grizzly. The big one last inning. Is Chaz Graham able to shut the door on that rally attempt? See if he can do it again.
This would be a big 0 here in the bottom of the 6th. This one fouled into the ground and back. Still a 1-2 count on Anthony Burgos. Petrosino waiting on deck to see if this inning continues. 2-1 Bombers. At risk of tying up the ballgame, the 1-2 swung on and missed. In the dirt, the tag applied by Stidham. Graham gets out of the jam and leaves the runner stranded at second. The score remains 2-1 Bombers as we head it into the 7th inning to see if they can shut the book and see who can get out of last place. You're listening to the California Winter League YouTube channel.
There's something winning in the agua. Catch all the action at 360 Sports at Agua Caliente Casinos. Watch your favorite teams on our giant wraparound screens. See live scores on the LED sports ticker. Win big with our bar top games and enjoy great twists on bar food favorites. And with 3 premier casino locations, 360 Sports is the ultimate fan experience. For more information, visit aguacalientecasinos.com.
We're through 6, and this has been an absolute tight game all the way through. The Bombers getting their first 2 runs in the second and the third consecutively off of today's starter, Matthew Maldonado. And the reliever, Leon, ever since has kept them relatively quiet. Only 1 hit in the past 2 frames. It'll be the bottom of the lineup due up in Michael Sims, and then the top 2, Mark Hernandez and Elijah Dickerson, to follow. But the trend right now has leaned more towards the Grizzly. They've been getting themselves into better opportunities. They had a bases-loaded opportunity. They had runners in scoring position 2 consecutive innings with the risk of tying up the game. Chaz Graham has done excellent work in the past 2 frames to hold them at this 1-run deficit. Now the Bombers will take their last looks in regulation to try and see if they can add some help for whoever they put out for the bottom of this 7th inning. Joey Miller, Brandon Januska here at Palm Springs Stadium. The first pitch hits outside to Michael Sims, who has walked twice today. And that is the second strike he's seen all day. Next pitch also hits. First strike, 2. And now Michael Sims has to be a bit less selective on this next pitch. The 0-2. This one misses low. Gets past the glove of Burgos, but nobody on, no damage. It's a 1-2 count. Grabbing that baseball that headed towards the backstop is the guy on deck, Mark Hernandez, who has also yet to get a base hit today. There's strike 3 called. Sims looks down at his feet and heads back to the dugout on a backwards K. 3 consecutive backwards Ks from Jason Leon between 2 frames.
Yeah, not much that Sims could do in that at-bat, just attacking the outside edge and getting the call was Leon.
Leon got out of the 6th in only 10 pitches. And right now, with only 4 pitches and 1 out, brings up Mark Hernandez, who takes the first pitch high for ball 1. 0 for 3 on the day. 2 strikeouts, both by the starter Maldonado, who is currently in line for the loss. But anything can happen in a 1-run ball game. There's a swing and a miss. Tried to golf it in the dirt there. Evens it up at 1 apiece. 2-1 Bombers in the top of the 7th. The Grizzly trying to get 3 outs and get their bats going for what could be the 3rd consecutive walk-off on this stadium. Here's one powered foul into Sunrise Park. It's a 1-2 count.
Yeah, we've had a lot of thrillers out here at Palm Springs Stadium lately. You mentioned all the walk-offs happening recently.
I believe there might have been some excitement on the backfield earlier today as well. That Chill-China matchup. We'll get confirmation on that momentarily.
Yeah, it sure was. Dominic Bucco walked it off with an RBI double. 6-5, Chill win it over China.
So that's 3 consecutive walk-offs following the 2 walk-offs that we saw yesterday here at the stadium. Next pitch misses, kicks away from Burgos. It's a 2-2 count on Mark Hernandez. We could potentially see another one here if Leon can get out of this inning and then the Grizzlies' bats get going. In the pen right now is Sebastian Encarnacion for the Bombers, who might be the one to close the book and get a save. Here's one chopped, another Baltimore chop up the middle. Coming over is Morgan. A nice stretch there by Dolbatian, gets him just in time for out number 2. Nice play there by Dolbatian and Morgan.
Yeah, great play all the way around, and without that stretch from Dolbatian, it's probably an infield single for Mark Hernandez. He had that slow, high chop, as you mentioned, once again. But nice job defensively to get the out.
Almost looked like Dolbatian did the full splits there at first, but that's what being a good first baseman's all about. Joshua Hoffman takes a breaking ball inside for ball 1. With 2 outs, a chance for another clean inning from Leon. Dickerson got one of those infield singles back in the first. Otherwise, has gone 1 for 3 on the day. Here's one towards the shortstop on a couple hops, fielding at his face and onto first, not in time. That's going to be another infield single for Dickerson. So he goes to 2 and 4 on the day and keeps this inning alive for the Bombers.
And just another slow developing play, a slow bouncer out there towards short. Carosas did all he could, made a strong throw. It was a bit low and skipped in. And that may have been just enough to allow Dickerson to get the base.
Howie Hatton, have yourself a day. He's 2 for 3. Came around to score, a quick throw back to first, not in time. In the on-deck circle is Doriel Beck, and right now the Bombers just want to give, assuming Encarnacion comes into this game, they want to give number 23 the best opportunity possible. Heading into the bottom of the 7th, there's strike 1. Howie Hatton watches that one go by at 85. Hatton has faced a full count in all 3 at-bats prior to this one. Has stayed absolutely patient as there's a throw over to first. You have to stay patient with all these pickoff moves, some of which have worked today. We've seen a couple pickles. Some people get out of them. It's Elijah Dickerson, the speedster, at first base. There he goes towards second. There's a swing and a miss at a strike outside. The throw down is in time. A beautiful tandem there from Burgos to Morgan. Finishes the top of the 7th. And now with 1 run of a lead, the Bombers have 2-1 over the Grizzly. It will be Sebastian Encarnacion to close the book on the Grizzly and perhaps propel them out of last place. We will see when we come back here on the California Winter League YouTube channel. Big situation for the Bombers as they lead the Grizzly 2-1 heading into the bottom of the 7th. Sebastian Encarnacion takes the mound, the 6'3", 225 righty. For these Bombers, out of the pen, this is going to be his 5th appearance and probably the most important one of all. He tries to hold the line. He'll face Thomas Petrosino, Josh Roberts, and Davey Morgan, who have been getting closer and closer to tying up this ball game in the past 2 innings. It's been Chaz Graham who's really held the line in 18 pitches. It ends his day. The 4th pitcher of the day for the Bombers, and Petrosino, who's 0 for 1 with a strikeout and a walk, will look to start things off in the 7th for his Grizzly. He takes the first pitch in for ball 1.
Yeah, the Grizzly offense has been close. They've been threatening these last couple of innings, but credit to the pitching staff, especially Chaz Graham, holding the line.
Next pitch misses outside for ball 2. Sebastian Encarnacion had a rough first outing in the California Winter League, and ever since then has been gradually getting better in each appearance. He's becoming more comfortable. He's got a good amount of velo off the mound. It looks great out of the hands. The next pitch misses high for ball 3, but it's been just that, his control and falling behind in counts, where he finds himself here in a 3-0 count to Thomas Petrosino.
Yeah, of his 4 previous outings, just one of them without a walk. He'll need to harness the control, holding on to a 1-run lead.
There's the 3-0. It finds its way into the zone for strike 1. In the weeds right now for the bullpen. Looks to be just in case guy as this plunks Petrosino in the shoulder. And on to first, a leadoff man aboard representing the tying run for the Grizzly. Things get interesting when you let the first man on in such a tight ball game. We've seen 3 consecutive walk-offs as it's going to be a pinch runner. It's going to be Justin Ayala to see if Jared Lemieux can get him around. Opting for speed as it's all or nothing for the Grizzly right now. Trying to jump out of the last spot in the standings. The first pitch misses low. Bunt shown by Josh Roberts. He pulls back. The ball kept in front of Stidham. And it's a 1-0 count on the switch hitting lefty currently. Bottom of the 7th. 2-1 ball game. Bombers on top. Bunt shown again. He pulls back again. It's a 2-0 count. Back-to-back batters falling ahead to Sebastian Encarnacion. That pitcher in the pen right now, just in case, is Sinkyun Yun. There's the bunt. It finds the bat, but it goes foul. It's strike 1. They're probably taking a page out of Team China's book, who just took their 3rd loss of the season.
Yeah, in a game that they led 4-0 in the second.
That's going to make things really interesting for the Canada A's, who are set to play the Power right after this. This next pitch hits for strike 1, but a bad transfer gets a stolen base of Justin Ayala. Now into scoring position with a 3-1 or with a 2-2 count, Runner in scoring position. And a swing and a miss. A big strikeout for Sebastian Encarnacion. Gets the first out of the bottom of the 7th. Davey Morgan steps up to the plate. A chance to punch in the tying run here. Got hit by the pitch back in the 5th that ended Ryu Yokato's short outing. Otherwise, struck out twice today. He takes strike 1, and that's really what he's been doing. He's been watching these first 2 pitches go by. He's looking for something, but he's not finding what he wants. This is a guy who's in the leadoff spot, being trusted to get something off the bat here. As he takes the next pitch high, it's a 1-1 count. Not to say that he hasn't been working counts. 2 of his 3 plate appearances today have gone 5 or more pitches. There's a breaking ball, beautiful, bends into the zone, and it's a 1-2 count. Encarnacion picking up the pace a little bit. Appears to be some gum in his mouth. He's blowing some bubbles out there on the mound. Now the 1-2. Off the end of the bat towards the shortstop, Thompson. He fires to first in time for out number 2. Advancing to third is Ayala. And now with a tying run 90 feet away and 2 outs, brings up Andrew Gravdahl. The weight of this game is upon this lefty's shoulders.
Yeah, and you have to be careful now if you're Encarnacion about burying pitches in the dirt. You can't let anything by you behind the plate.
First pitch is in there for strike 1. It'll be a short post game after. The next game will be 20 minutes after the final pitch here. The 0-1 bends and misses outside. Crowd starting to fill in and realize they brought themselves into a great ball game right now. 2-1, Bombers on top. 1 strike away from getting their 4th win as this one's sent into right field. and into the glove of Si-Yun Kim. Sebastian Encarnacion gets the save and out number 3 and takes this one 2-1 over the Alberta Grizzly. The Bombers in last place no more as the Grizzly become the first team in the California Winter League 2025 season to fall to 9 losses in contrast to their 3 wins. Their 3rd consecutive loss this week as well, and their 2nd one to the Bombers. This one, of course, a bit tighter of a match, but it's been a great one all around. Let's tell you how we got here. The 2 runs for the Bombers came in the 2nd and the 3rd. It was a leadoff single by Bubba Thompson in the 2nd that was scored by Mandala Bertino on a nice hit to right field. Got them the 1-0 lead, and then in the next inning, it was another leadoff single that came around to score on a sac fly from Bubba Thompson. Those 2 runs held the lead. They gave up 1 run in the 5th as things started to crumble a little bit in those 5th and 6th innings. Chaz Graham picked up the pieces that Ryuya Kato left him, and Sebastian Encarnacion closes the book on a beautiful save and a beautiful game as well as we conclude here around 12:20. The winning pitcher will go to Takushi Minagawa, who pitched a gem of a game. 4 innings, 1 hit, no runs on his account, 2 walks and 7 strikeouts. The loss will have to go to Matthew Maldonado, who also pitched a great game, a great line with 5 hits, 2 runs on his account, 3 walks and 6 strikeouts. Brandon, final thoughts before we talk about the next game and get ready for the next game.
Just a great pitching matchup all the way around. There were opportunities for teams to score, for both teams to score, and the pitching was able to lock it down. It was unfortunate for Maldonado. He battled early in the game, but he was able to limit the amount of damage actually done to just those 2 runs. Unfortunately, his offense couldn't get anything going, so he suffers the loss in this one. Congrats to the Bombers, able to hold on to it.
They leave the tying run stranded at 3rd. And that does it here for us from the booth. Joey Miller, Brandon Janeska. We will be back in just a few minutes for the next game. It will be the Power taking on the Canada A's. The A's have a chance to leapfrog into first after Team China takes their 3rd loss of the season on the backfield. Thank you so much for tuning in. Now it's time for us to tune out for a brief moment. Have a great time, and we'll see you momentarily.